Came back to him like 3 years ago.
Who's this? Which Rav?
I believe it was a Nafsik 8 years ago or so.
So how come he doesn't?
3 years ago he didn't say that. He said most of the Nafsik.
But why is the Mexic Euro on a Deraisa?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
it's not the right says you know best and you know.
You know better than everybody else. Fine. Omar Rava. No, I'm going by Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim said I'm mechuyev. According to Reb Chaim, I'm mechuyev. There's no Mexic Euro in Rebbe Okay, not anymore. Omar Rava, we're holding Daf Lamed Chesam the base on the bottom, 3 lines from the bottom.
You have to eat today.
Yes, we could eat right now. There's food on the table. Omar Rava, no, maybe the S is the Chalaisas. That's today's. Omar Rava Shma Mino Tzarch Likshor Akol Chuyo V'Chuyo. We see that you have to do a double knot. Likshor is a double knot. Akol Chuyo V'Chuyo. So we have the tzitzis here. These are chuliyos. These guys right over here are chuliyos. And you have to make a double knot. A single knot is not good. You see, even 2 knots are coming apart already. Thank you. So you have to make a double knot. Why? Because if you think that you don't need a knot, we learned yesterday that if you have a tiny piece left over from the strings, it's okay. It's gardumim, as long as you could make some sort of, but he's not learning. Rava wasn't learning that it's Kedei Aniva. If Rava learned it's Kedei Aniva, he didn't have his big raya. So he holds in Bnei Reb Chia that it means literally that it was severed at the end. Kivin the Ishtirlei Eloi Ishtirlei Kulei. So since you don't have a string left, so what happens is if you go down all the way to the knot, if your string is cut all the way back to the knot, what's going to happen? Your knot will come undone. So, Memela, I see from here that there's other knots involved as well. Yes, you're right. Your top knot is going to get undone, but you have other knots going down. So you see that every chulya needs a knot. Says the Gemara, no. What's the raya? Dilma the iktar. This that Bnei Reb Chia said that gardumim are kosher. They're kosher when you have other knots, but not that you're mechuyev to do knots. They only said they're halacha in a case that there are other knots. V'amar Rav Shmamino kesher elyon deraisa. What's kesher elyon? How did you learn, Mendy? All the way by the beged. Kesher elyon. This kesher is deraisa. This knot right over here, deraisa. Why? What's his raya? This okadayach the rabbanon. My itzrich lemishrei sodim betzitzis. Then why did the Torah have to say that shatnez is mutter? Pshita. Hatoichev tchifa achasenu chibur. The loch is by shatnez. If you take a tzemer, a beged of tzemer of wool, together with a beged of linen, and you put in one thread through, that's not shatnez. In order for it to be shatnez, you have to sew it properly. You have to have a good connection. Good.
It's the bottom, it's the top one?
Yeah. Elyon is the top one. It doesn't, yeah. But it could go both ways. Even it doesn't matter. The point is that one. Yeah, but the point is that one knot is there. So it doesn't matter if it's at the end of the gdil or the beginning of the gdil. The point is that there's a knot. If it's at the end of the gdil, so then all the chulias are gonna whatever. He says lamato.
What's connected to the beged?
Rashi does say deal kuloi. What do they think? Not like that. There goes the lamato. What? You didn't learn that? What? That's lamato?
It's the applies to the beggar.
Maybe that's why I thought that also.
Makes sense. That's
No, but Rashi is saying that it's all the. Ashkel says what? The very end of the knot. Okay. Rashi says Shemekayim is Agdil Kuloi, that one final knot. Seder. Either way,
It says that the Rashi says the
the stupid. I know I saw it somewhere. Okay, fine. Sobach Lakonov. I don't think it makes enough community. The point is that you made some sort of connection, a real connection to the beged. Just putting it in and going around like this wouldn't be enough. It has to be a knot somewhere at the end, at the beginning. Shmamino deraisa. So you see that the kesher is deraisa. If you don't have to make a knot, you just put strings into the hole. That's not shatnez. The Torah says you're allowed to do tzitzis made out of shatnez. So the fact that the Torah says you're allowed to do tzitzis out of shatnez, it has to be a tefira, because by shatnez itself, if you take a beged of tzemer and a beged of pishtim, you put them together without two trifos, without two stitches, thank you, then it's not shatnez. So over here also wouldn't be shatnez if you just put tzitzis into the hole. If you're yaitz just putting tzitzis in the hole, then it's not shatnez. Then the Torah doesn't have to tell you that you could do shatnez. Why? Again, this is going back, it's a sugya a little bit. We might touch upon it, Motzei Yom Kippur. If I could do it, there's a shir Motzei Yom Kippur, 10 o'clock at night. It's a very short daf. Very difficult, but I don't know. It's not that difficult. Very short.
Where is it going to be?
10 o'clock upstairs. This is it, Rabbi. So this is the last day here in this room. We'll say goodbye. Look behind you. Reuven behind you, on top. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So again, I just want to tell you this, Levi, one little svara. If I could do it without shatnez, then why is it mutter? Why is it mutter to do shatnez? Just put the tzitzis in, and I'm not over shatnez. I have tzemer pishtim, and I'm good, and I'm not over shatnez. Why am I making these knots? Must be that you have to do it. The Torah is telling you could be over in shatnez because this is the only way to do it. You have to make a kesher. Omer Rabbi Bar Rav Ado, Omer Rav Ado, Omer Rav, Im nifsek achut mi koroi psulo. If the string broke off completely, all the way here, mi koroi, over here, even the art scroll, vimaskim, means up here, all the way in the top. Psulo. Yosef Rav Nachman v'ka'omar lo hoshmaitzo. Eisvei Rav Nachman, so Rav Nachman's Talmud, Rav asked him a kasha. When is it said that it needs a shear? When you are making the tzitzis to begin with, all the way in the beginning, while you're making the tzitzis, you need a shear. But at the end, even shirayim and gardumim only need a kolshu. But the Gemara, the Brisa uses two lashonos here: shiyarov v'gardumov. So Rava wants to be medayik to his Rebbe. It says my shiyarov my gardumov. Obviously means two separate things. My love shiyarov divsik minayu v'shtayr minayu. So Rava is learning that when it says kolshu, is referring only to shirayim. It says two things: shiyarov v'gardumov kolshu. So in the shiyarov, then it broke off, and there's a kolshu. Gardumov, and what does Gardumov mean? The Gardumi Gardume, that it was severed off completely and there isn't a kolshu, there's nothing. And that's why there's two lashonos. So why are you telling me, Rav Nachman, that if it broke off all the way in the top, it's possible? It seems like from the Brisa that it's not possible. Loi, so Rav Nachman explains to him, no, Chodektani. Shiurei Gardumov kolshu, it's one case happened. There's leftover of the gardumov. Velema gardumov, shior of lamali. Why do I need two words? Akamashmalan to be inun shiura li gardumov kedei la'anvan. In the Brisa, it's telling you that if you have gardumim like we had yesterday, you have a stub, it should be kedei la'anvam in order to make a slip knot. What shear is that? I saw the Biur Halacha brings down 2 fingers. What? Double 2 fingers.
When you make fishing knots, you can make it even smaller than a
You mean a real knot, but not a slip knot. A slip knot has to go in and out. Here, I have a picture of slip knot. Not to confuse you. Here. This is a slip knot. So it needs a little bit more. You see it comes all the way around. What is this? Later. Zog the Gemara. Exactly. Boy Scouts. Yosef Rabbi v'Kamar Mishmei de Rav. Everybody drink, make brachas. Kain mitzvahs.
Make one bracha.
Yosef Rabbi v'Kamar Mishmei de Rav. So Rabbi said it in the name of who? Rav. Chut shel kerech oy lo min haminyan. You know that famous long string that the tzitzis have, and that's the string that goes all the way around and makes the chulios, it makes the gdil. You should know, he says, that 8th string is part of the 8 strings. The Torah tells us that you need 4 strings. What?
You call it shamash.
You call it shamash. Yeah, I never use that. I don't know. I don't call it anything. I call it the long string. The shamash. Fine, call it the shamash. The Torah tells us you need 4 strings. You put the 4 strings in the hole, and you have a total of 8. I would think that maybe in addition to those, you need a 9th string to go around and tie it up. So he says no. That kerech, the shamish in English, in the Yiddish English, oilu min haminyan. Omelei Rav Yosef, Shmuel Amar v'lo Rav. You said in the name of Rav? No, it's actually Shmuel. It's a funny Gemara because later on he says they said a halach in the name of Shmuel. No, it's Rav that said it. Okay, coincidence. Itmar nami. What?
Does that imply there's a machlokes here between Rav and Shmuel?
No, it's either or. Can't be a machlokes. They both said the same thing.
It's important to know who said it.
It's who said it. You weren't medayik in your words. You said it was Rav. I'm telling you, it's not Rav. It's Shmuel. They were contemporaries, but you got the wrong man. Itmanami Omer Rabbi Barachano Sochli Rabbi Yoshia de Menusha. I believe here on the side, and yeah, it says in the Agoy Sinzir Mishmei de Shmuel. He was trying this Itmanami. He was trying to say no, that it's mamish mefurish in the name of Shmuel. Chut shel kerech oila bin haminyan. That the shamish is part of the 8 strings. Yosef Rava v'Kamar Mishmei de Shmuel. Here, so now it's payback time. Rava was saying it's maybe yeah. On the side it says not Rava, it's Rabba. So again, before it's also Rabba that's in the name of Rav, and here it's Rabba that's in the name of Shmuel. Tcheles shekorach rubo kshero. Now, as we're going to see, and we mentioned yesterday, there's 2 parts. You have the gdil, and you have this part. The Gemara here calls it onof. Later, the Gemara calls it psil. This part, the tzitzis that we have, is supposed to be 2/3, and this only 1/3. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Says the Gemara, what if the gdil part, the braided part, is 2/3? And you have a little bit of tzitzis coming out. Is that okay? Says Shmuel, Ksheira. It's fine. Omelei Rav Yosef, Rav Amar v'lo Shmuel. You reversed it again. So, maybe that's the pshat. That he had these 2 halachas mixed up in his head. They're very similar halachas. They're in Hilchas Tzitzis, and he said one in the name of Rav, one in the Shmuel. What he meant to do is the opposite. Okay, that makes sense. Itmanami Omer Rav Bar Yehuda Omer Rav Sheishis Omer Rav Yirmir Be'aba Omer Rav Tcheles Shekorach Rubo Ksher. Same halacha. Tcheles, by the way, and we're going to see it a few times, is not referring to the blue. Tcheles means tzitzis. No, this. This is called tcheles right now. It happens to have some blue in it. We're not referring to the blue string out of the 2, the white and the blue. We're referring to the whole, the gufa tzitzis, whatever that is. That's what Rashi says. Zeo Shem kol tzitzis, and we'll see. It's very obvious from the rest of the sugya. Sometimes it goes back to the blue, but for the most part, tchelis shekarach rubo kshera. If you did a bunch of braiding, roiv, 2/3 braiding, it's also kosher. That's the halacha we just had in the name of Shmuel or Rav.
Up to where?
Rav.
No,
So it seems like 2/3.
that's what Rashi said. Rashi said 2/3 of
Does
the
that mean that in the loose bits, all 8 of them could be just as long as a slip knot?
The what?
The 3 bits.
The chulio?
Would that be kosher? If all 8 strings will be just long enough for a slip knot? You said it has to be as long as a slip knot.
Not understanding. No, this thing. Where's that gardum from yesterday?
But if it's one,
If it's this guy,
yeah.
you see this little guy hanging here? He has to be long enough for a slip knot. He's not actually. He's not 2 fingers.
And how many could that be? Could that be 2?
No, it could be more. That's what we're saying. That it could be all eight.
All 8.
Yeah. The thing that we had today is if it got cut over here, up here. But yeah. Oh, so you're saying if it all 8, so then you only have a gdil. You don't have a psil at all.
When does the
But you do have psil because you have a slip knot.
when does the
Right.
Garduma begin? Do we begin that? Do we start from the very first knot or the last knot? 'Cause
No, so we have-
technically you don't need all the knots.
No, so we actually have 2 gardumim. We're talking about gardumim is down here. But I believe this nifsak that he said before, that was on the top. It's shiuri gardumim.
No, it's not.
They use the lashon gardum over there, no? My shiura
No, it's not that. It's something else.
shiuri gardumim.
He wanted to say that this Shiorim and Gardumim, and then he said, no, it's
And
one
so it's
thing,
one
that's the
thing.
end.
Yeah. Right.
If
Right.
it's nifsak at
You're
the
right.
top,
You're
it's
right.
possible.
Sorry. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when we say
After the knot, it's always there.
yeah, but which knot is it after?
The end.
Is it
This one.
people watching?
No, he's right. It doesn't matter because you don't know how many knots you need.
Of course it matters. If you don't have it today, I need over here. Of 2 strings, it's possible. Right?
Like it just loosen the.
What if these are all extra? How many knots do you need? Okay. Let's see if we can figure it out from our sugya.
They can all be, all these strings can be 2 fingers, so it should be the shlish is kosher.
Right. I think that's what your father's point was.
So what's the last
I believe we were taught
Yeah.
one advantage of keeping the 2 sides separate all the way through whilst doing the chulias is that on break.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned yesterday. Right.
Then you've got sort of
Yeah.
three there.
And if it's cut all the way down to the knot.
That's what I mentioned yesterday. If one of them was that only one string was cut all the way to the top, you don't that doesn't apply because you still have his friend, his counterpart on the other side. Yeah. So I don't know. It wasn't really mentioned anywhere. It says shnaim shalosh in terms of gardumim. That's what I remember. I don't remember all of them cut. So I don't know. All right. Good shilos. So the Gemara. Rav Chia Bereli, Rav Nosson Masni Hachi, Omer Rav Huna, Omer Rav Sheshis, Omer Rav Yirmiyah Barav, the same halacha, but he adds a little bit. Omer Rav in the name of Rav. Tcheles shekorach rubo kshera. In other words, the whole tzitzis that you did the gdil, most of it was gdil, the reverse of what it's supposed to be. Va'afilu lekorach ba elo chuyo achas kshera. So over here he says all you need is one of these guys, one chulyo. B'kamo, how much is a chulyo? We're going to see in a second. V'noye tcheles shlish gdil u'shnei shlish onov. V'noye means the nicest way to do tzitzis is to have the braided part 1/3 and the tzitzis part, the onov or the psil 2/3. V'kamo shir chulyo tanya Rabbi Omer kadei shikru v'ishna v'shalish. 3 times around is considered a chulya. And all you need is one chulya. Tana, hapoiches.
Shulchan Aruch says that if all of them were nifsa,
He's looking up the Shulchan Aruch now.
and you have Kedei Aniva of all of them, if you have Kedei Aniva, even if all of them will cut that line,
Like we were saying,
yeah,
up to the psil, up to the gdil.
Kedei Aniva,
Right.
till the kesher, so it's not.
Yeah, they have a niva anyways, but the question was all of them, and he's saying the Shulchan Aruch says all of them. All 8 up to the Kedei Aniva. Okay. So then we have to understand Chaim Shaila here. Now, what's the big chiddush that you need that 1/3 of tzitzis is okay versus 2/3 of
Make
gdil?
it that way. There's a big difference. To make it lekatchila, you have a b'di'evet. If it's cut and you have kedei aniva,
And this is shekorach. We're talking about korach to doing,
Then Mr. Brewer said,
like we said before, that basi yosoi. The Gemara says starting out.
no, Mr. Brewer
B'tchilosoi. B'tchilosoi, ava b'soifoi is different.
Mr. Brewer brings, if it was cut that small and you took it apart, you cannot put it now in a new place. Because it's not the right size anymore.
Chiddush gadol.
Yeah.
Very nice. You hear? No, that makes sense. Making it lechatchila like
It has to be a
that,
certain length, but if it was cut afterwards, it's still cut.
so lechatchila it would have to be at least 1/3. You're saying not a kedei aniva would have to be at least 1/3. That would have to be at least 1/3.
The dolim, that's the length of the tzitzis.
Yeah. Okay. Zog the Gemara. Tana. Like 9 lines from the bottom. Tana. Hapoiches lo yivchois misheva, v'hamoisif lo yosef al sholish esrei. It's a question. Rashi learns that it's talking about the knots. That doesn't really fit into the way we make tzitzis. Rashi's learning that the least amount of knots that you do is 7 knots, but not more than 13.
It's talking about chuli, it's talking about the wraparound.
Right, these guys. Sorry, no, not the actual wraparounds. The chulya is 3.
Chuli is the wraparound.
Yeah, but look at Tosfos. You'll see he's saying that you need 7. It seems like from Rashi you need each one is a chulya. A chulya consists of 3, and you need 7 times 3. Chulyos. He's not saying a wraparound.
First one is,
How much is a chulya? 3 times 7.
No, I thought of Julio.
the first one is 7, 8, 11, 13.
That's how we do it.
Wait.
Tosfos says not like that. Tosfos says, and that's how I guess we.
So they made it different, you know, they used to make
Chulya. No, the Gemara here says, look, kama chulya, shir, v'kama shir chulya, k'dei shir v'yishna v'yishalish. Says Rashi, when you need 7, you need 7 chulyos. It seems like, I don't know, unless it's not. We'll see in a second. Hold on. Not more than 13. Why? Says Rashi, he brings the famous Gemara, that the Tcheles is similar to the ocean, to Yam. And the Yam is similar to the Rekia. And the Rekia is similar to Kisei HaKavod. So Mela not less than 7. And you shouldn't add more than 13. Keneged shiva rekin v'shisha avirim shebineim. So, but we right. I mean, the way we do it today is the least is 7 and the most is 13.
When you pull out your picture,
Yeah.
trailers, you'll see there, some ways of time with trailers, there's lots of separate sections.
So I don't know. Oh, here.
You see that?
Ooh, this is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Boom. This is actually chulyos and it's 13. Right over here. So that would be Rashi.
No problem.
I don't know if it's Shitas Rashi. Oh, I did take a picture.
That follows, this follows with more.
Okay, so it fits in. What we have over here, I just want to show you, I did this. This is how we do it. 7, 8, 11, 13. Sfardim do 7, 9, 11, 13. What's the 7, 8, 11, 13? The Mishnah Berurah says it's Hashem Echad. That the 7 and the 8 equal 15, which is by itself a name, Ka. And then the 11, 15 plus 11 is 26, is Yud Kei Vav Kei. And the Echad equals 13, it's Hashem Echad. And that's why we do 7, 8, 11, 13. And over here, as you see, we have 5 knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, what? Or yeah, I know, but I couldn't bring myself to do 1, 2, I couldn't do it.
And Slavim had an extra.
So why? No, the Sfardim have the koilo. I'm not joking, the koilo. Hashem Echad, the whole word is 1, and that's why they have an extra thing. But then it makes a lot more sense. 7, 9, 11, 13. It goes in increments of 2.
The link with Shemayim.
What?
The link with Shemayim.
The link with Shemaim.
Is that the
Yeah. Yeah. Now is there really? I don't have a now you can. There's okay. Let's continue the Gemara. Tanuk shu matchil belavan. When he starts his knot, when he puts the strings in, he should start with white. I skipped. No. Yeah, you skipped. You missed. I'll do it again for you. You shouldn't do more than 13, either knots according to Rashi or according to others, 13 around, like we do. If you have 7 skies, you have 6 ears, whatever that means, and that's it. We don't do more than 13. That's why we have 7 as the lowest, 8, 11, 13. Tono. Why a konof min konof? The first comes the white. Like we said yesterday, most begodim are linen and they're white. Ukshu misayim, and when he's done with the knot, belavan, all the way at the end here, down here, you make your knot out of white. Why? Malim bakodesh.
Talking about the loop, the wrapping.
Kind of combine everything.
It's like the argument from before.
No,
What's the
you
big
can't make a knot just with the white. You have to glue it.
That's true. I don't know how mine goes. White. Oh, very good. For those of you who don't know, I went in and I bought tcheles yesterday,
You're looking the wrong way.
and it starts out white, and it ends out white. I shouldn't tell you what.
We won't tell Nachman.
Oh, Nachman. Yeah, he's not here, Baruch Hashem, today. Make sure he didn't come today. So this, I hear. I was looking at it, I was like, why? My knot is blue also. How do you...
It's not 7, 8, 11, 13.
It's the growth.
Yeah, this is a whole different situation. There's different rikim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 rikim here. Now let's see the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, perfect. There's 7 rikim and 6 avirim. Beautiful.
And also Rakia is the color.
The rakia is blue.
Or the other is
No, it doesn't make any sense. The white. But the white is the more chashav one. Why is white more chashav, Rabbi say? It says, beloved, malam b'kodesh v'loy meridin. So Rashi says that that's the pasuk, min kanaf. We start off with min kanaf, that actually the Gemara. Look at Rashi for a second. It's a very, very nice Rashi. Rabbi say. How much time do we have here?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay, fine. Oy we don't have. Look at Rashi min kanaf. So Rashi says min kanaf tchila. Since it says min kanaf first, v'achar kach psil tchelis, so we know that white is more chashuv, and that's how you have to finish off also. Yeah. Says Rashi, listen to this Rashi. Now that we have 5 knots on our tzitzis, now it makes sense that tzitzis is equal to the whole Torah. Why? Oh, so now you have to go to Tosfos. For this, you have to go to Tosfos to understand Rashi. Look at Tosfos, the first wide line. Yeah, you have it. This is the fish. Tzitzis is 600, right? Tzadik Yud is 100. Tzadik Yud again is another 100 plus Tov is 400. It's 600. So now you're at 600, but you need to get to 613. Ushmoyna chutin, 8 strings. V'chamisha ksharim oilo taryag. So that's how you know what. Yes, but that goes according to Rabbi Shmuel that each tzitzis is an individual mitzvah. Okay, you hear Avi? What's going on here? Tzitzis is like the whole Torah. It's like Taryag mitzvahs because tzitzis equals 400 plus the 8 strings plus the 5 knots. That's if you do 5 knots. But if you do like Rashi, 13 knots, and Rashi himself said shkula. Oh, but he said okay, fine. Chulios. How do you have chulios without knots?
There you go. So, yeah.
These are knots.
These are not knots. We're knots here. This one has no knots.
Really?
I've seen such a
without any knots. So if this gets undone, that's it, the whole thing.
Wrap the
Just
noodle.
enough at the end.
What?
I'm not sure.
You want to see this? Pass it down. It's just the different types. I think types 8 ways to tie it.
I remember seeing one.
I just went in. I said I want goyin. Finished.
Tried it.
Zog Gemara. 10 minutes. What?
You had it made already? Or you made
No, you have to make it.
There's only a knot over here.
Rav v'Rabbi Barav Chana Abi Yasvi Avekol Vozla Ugavra de Mikasig Lima de Kulit Chelto. Rav and Rabbi Barav Chana was sitting, and they see a guy walking by with like a blue shirt, a cloak of Kulei Tchelis, beautiful blue, V'Romalei Tchelta, and he put Tchelis on it. So what does Tchelta mean? Going back to what Rashi said before, he had tzitzis on this garment. Ugdilo Migdil. There was no psil. There was no onof. The whole thing was a gdil from beginning to end. This whole thing, this is it. This is the end of tzitzis. Omarav yoi glima. It's a beautiful talus. What's the point in him saying that? Because there is an Indian to have a beautiful talus. Zekeli vanveyu. You can do nice mitzvahs. By the way, yesterday a guy came to the koil. He said a tremendous chiddush according to the Gaon that Tosfos brings down. I'm just mentioning Agav that Rabbeinu Tam says in tefillin you don't need sirtut. You don't need to put lines in. Why? Because there's no zakei vanvei in tefillin. Because since the parashas are hidden inside the box, nobody will ever see it. You don't need sirtut. So he comes up with a crazy chiddush. He says according to the Vilna Gaon, you don't need nice parashas. You could get anything, a simple parish, as long as it's kosher l'mahadrin. There's no point in spending more money for the greatest ksav in the world because nobody's going to see it. There's no zakei l'anveu. If you don't need sirtut, you don't need this. And the Gaon holds like Rabbeinu Tam. So come out that according to the Vilna Gaon, it's much better to spend your money on very expensive batim from the guy that does it handmade on Nachal Nachshon than to spend from the other sofer that charges $6,000 for the unbelievable ksav. Just the chiddush, according to the Gaon. You guys that are not gronics, you'll do the opposite. What? Right, but there's no need for tzidkis of tzayfer. That's what he's saying. There's no tzidkis. Derech Agav, my grandfather was a tzayfer in Bnei Brak. He was a huge tzaddik, and the Stipler bought film from him, and the Baal Cherubim even bought film from him. That's what they say. I don't know if it's true.
That's what they found in Menachos cave.
And even though he had a terrible ksav, they say, still they wanted his
That's
tzidkis.
like the famous question. Do you first have to be
Wow.
tzaddik?
You'll show it to me later.
The
Yeah.
cipher?
All right, Zogdima, what?
What comes first? The Baal Malacha or the tzidkis? You first have to be chazan, you first have to
Yeah.
have all the klolim and the...
Chaim said he
Fine.
wanted-
Zogdima,
Chaim said he wanted to write the Sefer Torah for himself.
so, but the bottom line is, what? We're not even going to finish today's daf. It's crazy. The problem is that this gdil is no good. The way he did the tzitzis without any strings hanging out is terrible, but he has a beautiful talus. No, you're allowed to make tzitzis without strings as long as you have the gdil. But my what's machlokes? In 2 different parashas, one says gdil, and then it also says psil. Oy gdil, oy psil. So over here, the Gemara is calling psil. This is what we call the anof. It's this part, the loose part. So what's going on here? It's almost a stira. So oy gdil, oy psil. Either or. So that he holds if you have a gdil without the loose part, it's kosher l'mahadrin. Rav Sova lo elam psil bin, and you need both. Vahu gdilim l'minyonu da'asa. And so why does the Torah say gdil? To tell us the amount. Now Tosfos has a bam kash here. What do you mean? I need gdil to tell us the amount. I need gdil to tell us that you can do either gdil or psil.
No, you need both.
That I could do, that I need both. Right, according to him I need both. So he says the doichak teretz. He says doichak. Gdil, shnayim gdilim arba. Gdil means 2, gdilim means 4, and this is the famous Gemara, asay gdil u'poislei metoichai. Take these 4 strings, put it in, and according to Rashi's second shot, make sure that the bottom of the gdil, here's the gdil, u'poislei metoichai, and out of that comes loose strings. Asay gdil, and then the psil comes out of the gdil. Or according to Rashi's first shot, that it's okay, like the halach that we said before, it's okay to use one of the strings to wrap around the gdil. Okay, so this is how we know that our tzitzis look like this today. Omar Shmuel Mishmud Levi Mishmed Levi. So again, how do you make tchelis? What tchelis, going back to the halacha tchelis? Not like we said before, it means referring to the old tzitzis. Tchelis means wool that's dyed blue. Tchelis, the essence of tchelis is wool. You can't have tchelis without wool. So says Shmuel Mishmei Levi, chutei tzemer, if you have the other strings, the white ones, not the blue ones, poitrin bishel pishton. If the beged is linen, then you could still have strings that are wool. Iboilu. So that's the kasha. Shel pishton, if the strings are linen, mao shifteru b'shel tzemer. What if the beged, what if it's reversed? We know you could have strings made out of, here, look at mine. If this has to be wool. So if this is wool, if the white is wool, it's not a big deal. I already have shatnez. This is wool, and I put it on my beged that's linen, I already have shatnez. So by me adding this string made out of wool, I didn't do anything. But what about the opposite? What if, what? More shatnez? No, I'm done. I'm not over on shatnez on this beged. I can't do more. What's more? I'm allowed to be Michal Shabbos. I'm allowed to do bris milos. I did more. I cut more. Like what? I'm allowed to do it.
Because the blue has to be wool.
It has to be wool. Very good. The white doesn't have to. But I already, this beged is already shatnez. With the blue, it's already
It's
shatnez.
not shatnez because of the Torah. With the white doesn't.
The Torah says that I'm allowed to. It says mefurish. It says the parsha of shatnez. It says beged the tzemer pishtim yachdov. You're allowed to do it together. But what about the opposite? What if the beged is tzemer? The beged is tzemer, so it goes very well with my blue string. I don't have shatnez now. And now I come along and I want to do a white pishton. I just created shatnez with my white. Do I have the right to make shatnez now? That's the Gemara Shaila. I can hear it both ways. I could do shatnez if I have to put on tchelis, and tchelis has to be tzemer. No, so I already was over on shatnez. I can continue being over. There's no such thing as more or less. I was over, finished. The Torah says I'm allowed to be over. But in a case where there's no shatnez, what's the halacha? Tzemer, but what?
If the beged, normally beged would be linen.
Correct.
And if the beged is not linen, could the string...
Don't those Hasidim wear those heavy wool? What is that? What? Oh, that's tzemer. Yeah, those godim are tzemer. So could I wear pishton tzitzis with that? Tzemer b'shel pishtim hu de potar. The kivin the tchil is potar lavan. The potar lavan nami potar. Since I already have a ptur of doing shatnez with the tchelis, I could do lavan also shatnez. I would pishtim with tzemer loy. But maybe the Torah never was matter. Or dilma kivin the chsiv leisil b'shatnez tzemer pishtim yachtov. Gdilim taselach, and then a second later it says I could do shatnez when it comes to this. Tzemer pishtim pishtim with tzemer. Tashma. Domer Rav Yehuda chudi tzemer poitrim b'shel pishton. It says mefurish b'shel pishton poitrim b'shel tzemer. It says you're allowed to do shatnez even if the beged is tzemer. Chudi tzemer pishton poitrim b'chol mokoim. In other words, if I have a beged vafilu b'shirayim, if I have a silk, people have that today. They wear silk suits. So if I have a silk frock, let's say, and it needs tzitzis, a beketcha. Oh, beketcha, very
I have
good.
an opening in the back.
Let's say I have a beketcha that's chayav b'tzitzis, then I'm allowed to use shatnez on it. I'm allowed to. This is a big chiddush. L'chayra. I'm allowed to use tzemer. I could use tzemer pishtim. Maybe. Let's see. Upligi de Rav Nachman. Don't Rav Nachman ashiroim ptur min tzitzis. Rav Nachman says that you don't have to put tzitzis at all on a silk beged. Eisvi Rav Nachman hashirayim v'klach v'asrikin. Rashi says these are three types of silk. Kulan chayovim b'tzitzis. So v'chay b'tzitzis. What? So it says before v'chay b'tzitzis. Rav Nachman says you're not chay b'tzitzis on silk. So he answers midrabanon. You only chay midrabanon. So memela, if only chay midrabanon, so shatnez would be usher here, right? The only time shatnez would be mutter is if it's deraisa. Yihachi emiseifa. How does it work? V'kulon tzemeru pishtin. He's learning tzemeru pishtin doesn't mean either or. It means together. I could take tzitzis like this, like mine, tzemer, and pretend it's white as pishtin, and put it in a silk garment. Now that would only make sense if the silk garment is chai b'tzitzis, and the Torah says when you chai b'tzitzis, I could use shatnez. Eliyam the Rabbanon, Hechemish the Reklayim. So he says, Eima oy tzemer oy pishtim. It doesn't mean both together. A shatnez, it means either or. When it comes to silk, I don't have to necessarily use silk tzitzis. I have two other tzitzis I could use. I could use silk, but I could also use tzemer or pishtim, not tzemer and pishtim, because it's only chayiv in the Rabbanon according to Rav Nachman. It makes sense because it says hein. What's hein? The silk b'minon poitrin. I could use silk tzitzis. If these are made out of silk, I can use it on my silk beketcha. Shaloi b'minon ein poitrin, but I cannot use silk tzitzis on my wool beged. That makes sense. If the beketcha is only chayiv in the Rabbanon, so I use tzitzis on it and it's potter. Eliyamis the Raisa, if you say beketcha is chayiv the Raisa, tzemer pishtim will be potter. The Torah says mefurish you should use tzemer pishtim for tzitzis, right? It says tzemer pishtim yachdav din tasa. What the whole pasuk talks about tzemer pishtim. Where do you come up with silk tzitzis the pater beged if it's chayiv in the Raisa? It makes a lot of sense, Rav Nachman, if you're only chayiv in the Rabbanon, so you give him a tzitzis the Rabbanon. Says the Gemara, it's not such a great raya. Imishum hala irya kid the Rava. The Rava Rami, Rava has a stira. Ksiv hakonof min konof. It says that the tzitzis should be the same as the beged itself. Uksiv tzemer pishtin. Hakeitzad. How does that work? Tzemer pishtin poitrim bein b'minim bein shaloi b'minim. Tzemer pishtin are the best. Those two could pater any type of beged in the world, including silk. Sharminin, what? Sharminin b'minim poitrim. But let's say silk could only pater silk. Shaloi b'minim poitrim. So Melo, that's not such a raya. The Rav Nachman, who says that shirayim is potter midaraisa, if you have silk it's potter, he has good backup. The Torah constantly talks about beged by different things, by tumah, by even by us. Rashi brings a kamfei bigdeim. It doesn't say what kind of beged it is. Now by negoyim, Rashi says not by negoyim. It says that the beged is made out of tzemer pishtim. So I have what is called a binyanav. Just like over there by negoyim, it means tzemer pishtim. Afkol tzemer pishtim, and memela shirayim silk would be potter. Omar Abaye v'Tana de Rabbi Shmuel mapka mi'iduch Tana de Rabbi Shmuel. There's actually a Tana de Rabbi Shmuel that says exact opposite of this Tana de Rabbi Shmuel. Not a writer of Nachman, a steer to what we said. Mi'iduch Tana de Rabbi Shmuel. The Tana de Rabbi Shmuel beged over there is talking about tzaras. Ein li'elo beged tzemer. Minay l'rabis tzemer gmalim. The wool of a camel, v'tzemer anovim, and the wool from a rabbit. V'noitza shalizim, and the wool of a goat. Rashi says noitza does not mean a feather. Goats don't usually have feathers. It means that's very fine. In Shabbos, Rashi explains, because you have to pluck it like a feather. Not only that's thick like a feather, but it's also you take it out like a feather. You don't use a scissors. How do you know that it's considered a beged? Even a beged from other minim is all considered a beged. Have a great fast, a meaningful fast. Motzei